This is another great example on how to do a legacy sequel. Let's talk about Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice is the sequel to Beetlejuice, the original Tim Burton classic, which, fun fact, was actually Tim Burton's second film, and really this film that cemented his style. And ironically enough, Tim Burton really, before making the show Wednesday, we hadn't seen that style that we all love. And now that he goes back to the world of Beetlejuice, not only does he bring that classic Tim Burton feel that we all love, but he brings in new elements and honestly modernizes his style of directing. Beetlejuice is tons of fun. It felt nostalgic but very new at the same time. It did not feel like it was a rehash of the original, while there is moments and beats that resemble the original film. Beetlejuice stands on its own, and I think it's a sequel that I will now be tuning in every spooky season. I'll be watching Beetlejuice back to back with Beetlejuice. Hopefully Michael Keaton doesn't appear because I said that 3 times. It was such a joy to see Michael Keaton in this role that he played almost 35 years ago. It seems it was like an easy job for him to just roll back into the character of Beetlejuice. One thing I hate about legacy sequels is that after not seeing this iconic and beloved character for years, 30 plus years, we finally get to see them and then we see complete failure. All those dreams and aspirations that we thought they were going to accomplish after the first movie, all gone. I hate that. Last Jedi is one of the movies most guilty for that when they brought back Luke. So I'm always wary about those situations. So when it came to Lydia Deetz, I was very worried that they might do the same thing, because obviously there has to be some drama, there has to be some problems and new things that our main characters have to overcome in order to grow as characters. So I was hoping they wouldn't make her a failure or just a horrible person that doesn't resemble the true Lydia Deetz that we met in the first movie. And I'm glad to say they did her character justice. If anything, there was so much more character growth. Sometimes this legacy sequel has to justify its existence, and this one certainly does. Very similar to how Top Gun Maverick did. It justifies its existence because it helps grow the characters we all know and love, while also introducing new characters in a way that those new characters don't get underplayed, but they're also not stealing too much of the spotlight from the original characters that we all come to see in the first place. I think it was a perfect balance because Winona Ryder and Jenna Ortega have a great balance in their characters. In fact, when both characters get together in the movie continues to get elevated. It's done so well. There is some complaints with the antagonist of the film, with a lot of people questioning what was her purpose, because while they have a strong start, they don't have a strong ending. And I think that's the thing that we gotta remember what movie we're watching. If we were watching any other movie, that'd be a severe issue and a great reason to take off points in the overall score of this movie. But when it comes to Beetlejuice, just think about who was the villain in the first movie. Was it the Deetz coming into the house? Not really, because they just wanted to move in. Maybe Otho was the villain in the first movie. Maybe he was. And even then, he wasn't such a powerful presence. He was kind of just a funny guy who got his hands in the wrong book. So I kind of took that into consideration, and it honestly makes the movie play out way better. I don't think this movie was overstuffed with too many plot lines and they rushed. It does feel like they could have probably let some moments breathe, but I do think the additions besides Jenna Ortega, like Willem Dafoe, Rory, who is Lydia Deetz's boyfriend, the actor managed to have this character be sleazier than Beetlejuice. So props to him for doing an incredible job of making someone worse than Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is such a fun movie. I highly recommend it to everyone to go watch it if you haven't already. It's a perfect movie to watch this spooky season.